welcome to this deep spiritual exploration. If you are here today, there is no doubt that you are at a turning point in your journey. Allah has guided your steps to this video, and this is not a simple coincidence. Maybe you're looking for answers, maybe you're at a crossroads, or maybe you're ready to fully embrace the divine path that awaits you. Every stage of your life, every moment of doubt or light, is a sign, a call to discover the truth that resides within you. Today, together, we will explore how divine destiny manifests in your existence and how, by surrendering to divine will, you can truly transform your reality. Are you ready to embrace the power of your own destiny? 1. The spiritual encounter. If this video purifies you today, know that it is not a simple coincidence. In the infinite dance of time and space, certain encounters are not due to chance. There are times in life when events seem to synchronize in ways that escape our rational understanding. Signs appear silently, discreet calls from the universe or God Himself, guiding you exactly where you need to be. We live in a world saturated with distractions, incessant noise, swirling thoughts. But sometimes, in this tumult, a soft but intense light shows us the way. This light is a divine message, a guide hidden in the folds of our daily lives, drawing us towards what we need at the precise moment when we need it most. It is often difficult to capture these moments. The noises of daily life can suffocate them, and yet deep within us, something awakens. This something is the truth hidden in the moment, an invitation to become aware of the invisible that surrounds us. These signs are there to awaken you, to push you to reconnect with the source, to remind you that there is a divine order behind everything that exists. Sometimes life seems to be a tangle of coincidences, but every detail, every moment has its place in the great divine plan. This is not a simple coincidence. It's a call. There is a story that is told in ancient villages, a story that perfectly illustrates this spiritual encounter, which is never the result of chance. A humble and pious man lived in a small village nestled among the hills. His days were simple, punctuated by prayers, reading the Quran, and a constant search for truth. He spent his days in peace, meditating on the mysteries of life and the universe, seeking to understand the deeper meaning of his existence. This believer lived a quiet life. But one day something extraordinary happened. As he sat in his little house, immersed in deep thought, he heard an inner voice, soft but firm, urging him to pray with more sincerity, to reconnect fully with Allah. It was not an external voice, but a kind of divine whisper that emerged from the silence, a call to an inner awakening. He got up, without hesitation, and headed towards the mosque, his mind filled with a peace that he did not yet fully understand. When he arrived, a passing scholar was there. He approached him as if fate had brought him precisely to that moment. The scholar, after a few words exchanged, told him about a verse from the Quran that he had never noticed before. Those who believe and whose hearts are tranquil when they remember Allah know that only when they remember Allah do their hearts become peaceful. Quran 13:28. These words struck the man's soul like a revelation. He then understood that the peace he sought did not come from outside, but that it emanated directly from his intimate connection with Allah. This verse, which he had heard 1,000 times without really paying attention to it, suddenly took on a whole new meaning. He realized that every breath he took, every prayer he recited, was an opportunity to revive that deep tranquility that surpasses human understanding. This moment marked a turning point in his spiritual life, because he understood that he was never alone. that each sincere prayer and each evocation of Allah nourished his heart with eternal peace. Have you ever experienced a moment when the universe seemed to speak to you? A moment when something deeply spiritual revealed itself to you? Through a simple situation, a word, or even a breath of air? These moments, these invisible signals, are not the result of chance. Maybe this video, this simple call, is one of those moments for you today. These signs do not come simply to awaken our consciousness, but to remind us that we are constantly guided by divine light. When you stop, even for a moment, and listen to your heart, can you hear this call? It is not in the noise of distractions that we find peace, but in the deep silence of our being, where the divine presence joins us. These moments are calls to awaken you to a greater truth, to prepare you for the spiritual transformation that is beginning. If you are here today, this may be that moment. There is wisdom hidden in every encounter, in every moment. So take a moment to think. What is life trying to tell you today? What divine message comes to you just when you need it? And above all, are you ready to welcome this message and follow this divine path that opens before you? 2. Spiritual awakening. The moment has arrived, the one you may have been waiting for without knowing it. It is no coincidence that you are here, today, at this very moment. In the great divine wisdom, this moment has been planned for you. Everything you have experienced so far has led you to this moment. God, in His infinite greatness, decreed that it would be yours. In His mercy, He has guided you here to invite you to a profound awakening and inner transformation. It is written in the Quran that those who seek the truth with a pure and sincere heart will find their way. Quran 29:69. These words resonate like a divine promise, that he who seeks will find, he who knocks will see the door open before him. Today, this door is open to you. Perhaps you are not fully aware of it yet, but know that you are about to experience something profound, irreversible, an awakening that will forever change the way you perceive the world. It is not just an outward transformation, but a radical change from within. It is not a matter of looking only with the eyes, but of seeing with the soul. A new reality awaits you, and it begins in the sanctuary of your own heart. There is a moving story in Islamic tradition that perfectly illustrates what a spiritual awakening means. A man who had experienced great sadness for many years found himself in a state of deep despair. He had lost hope in humanity and felt disconnected from his own faith. His days were filled with heavy thoughts, and night fell with a feeling of emptiness. One day he went to a quiet place to meditate on the infinite greatness of Allah, seeking to reconnect with the inner light that he felt had been extinguished for too long. While in a state of deep thought and solitude, he fell asleep. When his eyes opened, he felt different. An inexplicable calm filled his heart, a peace he had never felt before. It was as if a veil had been lifted from before him, and he could finally see things in a new way. His thoughts, once heavy, were now light. He then understood that it was not just a dream or an illusion, but a spiritual awakening. This moment marked the healing of his soul, a healing that came not from a human remedy, but from a deep connection with Allah. He realized that true peace came from an inner awakening, from a reconnection with his faith and his Creator. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "When the servant of God seeks the truth with a pure heart, he will see signs that he never noticed before." This verse perfectly sums up this man's experience. When our heart is ready, when we are sincerely seeking the truth, signs appear all around us in the simplicity of things in life. It is in this pure search that healing is found, a spiritual awakening which opens the doors to peace and inner serenity. And you, Are you ready to awaken to this new reality? Are you ready to see beyond the illusions of this world, to step through the door that leads you to truth and divine light? Sometimes we are plunged into the darkness of uncertainty and doubt, but it only takes one moment, one breath, for everything to change. If you are here, it is because you are ready to receive this revival. The divine light is calling you. It is there, ready to illuminate your heart. Can you feel the inner call to awaken to something greater, more expansive? Can you hear the divine voice, gentle but firm, urging you to open your heart and recognize the light that resides within you? It's no coincidence that you're here. This moment is not a coincidence, but a divine turning point in your spiritual journey. The question is, are you ready to cross this threshold and experience the transformation that awaits you? 3. The divine power in you. Allah has placed in each of us immense power, a power that lies not in the ego or in worldly ambitions, but in the pure soul. It is a spiritual power, a divine power that, when fully awakened, can transform not only your life, but also the world around you. If this video found you, it's because this power is starting to awaken within you. It is a call to action, a call to recognize the infinite power that resides within you, in every fiber of your being. Every positive thought, every act of kindness, every moment you connect to Allah brings you closer to this unlimited potential. This divine power is not external to you, but deeply rooted in your heart. You are an extension of divine light. And when you realign yourself with this light, you activate this spiritual power. It's not something you have to look outside of yourself. It's there, inside you, ready to bloom. Remember the history of humanity when Moses, peace be upon him, found himself facing the Red Sea, with his people trapped between the water and Pharaoh's army. The Israelites were terrified, believing there was no escape. But Moses, strong in his unshakable faith in Allah, raised his hand. And by the grace of God, the sea parted, opening a passage for them to escape. It was not just Moses who acted. It was Allah acting through him. Allah, the Almighty, used Moses as a channel to manifest a miracle. This power was not limited to Moses. It is universal. It is divine. And it resides in each of us. When you fully connect with Allah, when you allow His light to invade every cell of your being, this power is revealed within you. It allows you to overcome obstacles, cross the widest seas, and conquer the toughest challenges. Just like Moses, we are called to release this power within us, to allow divine power to work through us to accomplish the impossible. The Quran reminds us of this powerful truth. Allah is the protector of those who believe. He brings them out of darkness into light. Quran, Tuktaz 257. This verse is a beacon, a light for all who seek to connect with the divine force within them. Allah is the one who guides us, who sustains us, and who gives us the strength to transcend the darkness of this world. When you align yourself with Allah, He protects and guides you. And from this connection comes the inner strength necessary to overcome trials and see the light, even in the darkest times. This divine power does not depend on your physical strength, but on your connection to the infinite source of all power, Allah Himself. The light you receive from Him is stronger than all the darkness in the world. You are capable of achieving the impossible when you allow yourself to be an instrument of this light. What seems possible to you when you fully connect to this divine light? What is this force hidden within you, ready to unfold in all its greatness? Imagine for a moment the divine power that resides within you. What can you accomplish when you allow Allah to work through you? What miracles could manifest in your life when you completely surrender to His guidance? When you open yourself to this truth, you become a transformative force, not only for yourself, but also for those around you. The light that shines within you is a light that can illuminate the whole world. You are a divine channel, capable of performing wonders that go far beyond what humanity can imagine. The divine power within you is here, now. You just have to access it. 4. Patience and trust in Allah. The spiritual journey is never linear. There will be times when the road seems uncertain, when trials will multiply like dark clouds in the sky. There will be moments of doubt, where everything seems to lose meaning, where you wonder if the light at the end of the tunnel really exists. But always remember this profound truth. You are never alone on this journey. Allah is with you every step of the way, even in those moments when you feel lost, when you don't understand why trials hit you. His wisdom is infinite, and every difficulty has a purpose. Every difficulty is an opportunity to purify your heart, strengthen your faith, and grow spiritually. The key is patience and trust in Him. These two virtues are the keys to navigating through the storms of life. The story of Prophet Ayub, Job, peace be upon him, is one of the most poignant in Islamic tradition. Ayub, peace be upon him, was a virtuous man, blessed by Allah with a loving family and abundant wealth. But Allah wanted to test his patience and his faith. He lost everything, his health, his property, his children. He was struck by an illness which left him isolated and suffering. Yet, despite all these losses, Ayub never turned away from his faith in Allah. He persisted in his prayer, in his gratitude to Allah, even when it seemed that all hope was lost. He cried out to Allah, but he never doubted divine wisdom. After years of suffering, Allah, in His infinite mercy, gave him back everything he had lost, but more. His faith and patience had purified his heart, and he became a model of trust in Allah. His suffering was not in vain. It led him to a level of closeness with Allah that he would never have achieved otherwise. The message of Ayub's story is powerful. No matter the difficulties, as long as we remain steadfast in our faith and trust in Allah, we will be rewarded, sometimes in ways we could not even imagine. The Quran reminds us of this fundamental truth. Certainly, with difficulty, there is also ease. Quran 94:6. This verse is not only a promise, but also a reminder that in every trial there is a way out, a light that appears after the storm. When you are going through a difficult time, remember that just as the clouds clear after the rain, ease and tranquility will come after the difficulty. It is a truth that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized many times. Difficulty is followed by ease. Suffering precedes reward. Can you remember a time when patience and trust in Allah guided you through a difficult trial? Perhaps a time when, in your despair, you found the strength to persevere solely through your faith in Him. How did you feel when you let Allah take control and let go of the burden of worry? Today, how can you strengthen this trust in your heart? What small actions can you take to further develop your patience and faith? Patience is not the absence of suffering, but the ability to move forward with faith despite suffering. With each trial, your faith strengthens, and each moment of difficulty becomes an opportunity to draw closer to the One who created you and who guides you. The key is to never lose hope, to always believe that ease will follow, and that the reward for your patience will be infinitely beautiful, beyond what you can imagine. 5. The divine destiny in you. Everything that happens in your life is in the hands of Allah. He knows every hidden desire of your heart, every pain that runs through it, and He understands what is best for you. Every step of your spiritual journey has been written. Every trial, every moment of peace. If this video found you, know that it is not a simple coincidence. It's a sign that you're ready to embrace the next stage of your journey. Destiny, in its divine magnificence, unfolds like a sacred book. Each page turned brings you closer to the fulfillment of your spiritual purpose. You are guided by infinite wisdom, and every moment of your life is an opportunity to move towards what has been planned for you, a divine path traced to bring you closer to the light. The story of the spiritual traveler is that of many truth seekers. He wandered for years, seeking to understand his purpose, to understand why he was here on this earth. He asked himself endless questions, wondering what his divine mission was, what role he was destined to play. After years of searching, when he was tired and discouraged, he met a wise man on his way. This wise man, with a peaceful smile, said to him, "You seek your goal, but you forget that your goal also seeks you." These words struck the traveler deeply. He understood that his goal was not something he could force or grasp, but that he simply had to trust in Allah, let himself be guided by His will. From that day on, he stopped searching with such intensity. Instead, he focused on trusting in Allah's divine plan, knowing that his path was already set, and that he should move forward in peace and faith. This traveler, ultimately, realized that sometimes the greatest act of faith is simply to rest in the certainty that everything that happens is exactly what should happen, and that each moment is a step on the path to truth. The Quran teaches us that truth comes from God. And say, "The truth is from your Lord. Whoever wants, let him believe. And whoever wants, let him disbelieve." Quran 18:29. This verse reminds us of the freedom of choice we have in our spiritual life. But it also reminds us that truth and divine guidance are already present, ready to be recognized, to be welcomed into our hearts. The destiny of each individual is written by the hand of God. We have the option to believe and follow this path, or to turn away from it. The key is to understand that our spiritual journey is guided by Allah, and that what we experience, every encounter, every experience, every suffering, is in fact a part of our divine destiny. How can you fully embrace the destiny that awaits you? Every stage you go through is a stage of transformation, and every moment, whether filled with light or darkness, brings you closer to what was intended for you. Are you ready to move forward with confidence, knowing that every step, every decision, every breath you take is guided by the divine hand of Allah? Can you see every challenge as an opportunity to grow spiritually? Every trial as a sign that you are realizing your true purpose? How can you cultivate inner peace, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be at this moment in your life? The spiritual journey is not a linear path, but one filled with signs, transformations, and revelations. In every moment, you are guided by infinite wisdom, even when you doubt or the road seems uncertain. Remember, your destiny is not a mere coincidence, but a divine plan that you are discovering step by step. The truth is already within you. So let's move forward together with faith and confidence, knowing that each moment experienced is a step towards the accomplishment of your ultimate spiritual goal. Be open to the divine light that guides you, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. May every decision you make be an act of faith, and may your journey toward truth be blessed and transformative.